Mr. Richard Primrose.
Here.
Ms. Teresa Stevenson. Here. Mr. Tom Sidwell.
Here.
Mr. Jimmy Sandoval.
Here.
And Mr. Bill Fox.
Here.
Thank you. Next is approval of the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? Is there any additions or deletions? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Stevenson.
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell.
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval.
Yes.
Mr. Fox.
Yes.
And Mr. Primrose.
Yes.
And the motion carried.
Are there any comments from the public?
No, sir, there are
All right, thank you. Next would be approval of our regular board meeting for November 19th. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? And is there any additions or deletions? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sidwell.
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval.
Yes.
Mr. Fox.
Yes.
Mr. Primrose.
Yes.
And Ms. Stevenson.
Yes.
And the motion carried.
All right. Chairman's report. I don't have anything to report. We'll move on to the president's report. Dr. Moss.
So you all have my report. There are a couple things I wanted to update and add. One, thank you to Mr. Box and Mr. Primrose for going to that ENMRC meeting last Monday. We got a thank you card from some of the presenters that we came, and they're a group out of Texas, but some of the area school districts have been visiting with them about trying to emulate some of the programming they're doing, and I think it's something that we can be a part of. So anyway, I think it was good that we were there. A reminder too that on January 22nd is Quay Day in Santa Fe. So I think they want to know anyone from here that's going to go. And so if any of you have an interest in going to that, let Margaret know. I think it's by January 15th. They need to have their name in. I only been last year. Mr. Primrose probably been a lot more than that, but you have our local legislators, some state officials, county, city, other cities in Quake County, and so it's a good chance. It's like the opening day or so of the legislative session, but it's a good time to visit with people. Put our face on Mesalands and Tucumcari. So just let her know. There's a $50 charge for each person, but we'll cover that and the travel too. I'm sure I'll take a car or something from the college too. So if anybody wants to ride, and we can also just have a discussion about, if somebody wants to spend the night before, because it's a pretty early meeting to get to.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Like I said, it's a good time to go up and interact with some state people about the college. Nursing. I think maybe Joel may have included as a report the letter we got from the Board of Nursing. No. Okay. Well, we got it, and I'd already told you all that we'd got the full approval without warning, which is great. It's another step. We had the nursing pinning ceremony Saturday evening. Great turnout. We'll need to have it in we'll have to move those walls out, or we'll have to have it in a bigger place next semester because our cohort will be bigger, and that's exciting to see our first 5 students to finish the program. Special audit, they were here the week of our last board meeting. They're still, they were here, they interviewed, they collected it, documents and stuff. They're still asking questions, collecting more information. They sent me an email today. They're also they have some interviews set up with maybe some past employees. I don't know if they've reached out to any of you still yet, but I think they will at some point to talk to you about things that happened from like 2019 to 2023. So that's still continuing. An interesting thing came up. I had a question for the state auditor. You know, just kind of making sure again that do we need to be looking for a independent auditor for 2025, because we need to be sending out our RFPs for that now. And so Mr. Heel visited with, I guess, Mr. Mastis, the state auditor, and he said, no, she said he indicated to her that they'd like to continue working on our audits for I think he said like the 8-year cycle, or at least a 4-year cycle. So we're looking at least them doing our 24 audit and 25 audit, which, you know, it's going to be a little more expensive than an independent auditor, but, you know, like Mr. Martinez and Ms. Arias and I kind of message back and forth, at least it gives us that consistency. They've shown they are, you know, trying to work with us and kind of build us up, help us correct things. And so it's probably a positive thing that they're going to continue that. And it takes it off of us looking for an auditor for the next couple of years. The only other thing I'd add is we do have, we had a kind of employee staff Christmas party this afternoon. I think the attendance was even better than last year. And things like that, to me, give a positive feeling to the way things are going. So, also, just a reminder, January 7th, we will have our back to school meetings. And if any of you want to come to any of those, and lunch will probably be around, I don't have the calendar in front of me, 11:30 or noon? Noon. January 7th, if you want to come and have lunch with the staff. We're going to start the morning off with, I know we have armed intruder training first, active shooter training first. Mr. Bobbitt has someone coming in from, I think he's connected to our insurance, but anyway, he has a lot of experience presenting to different groups, colleges, schools, things like that. United Way is going to present, and then I'll do some updates and things for the staff, and then we'll have some other kind of professional development discussion. So that'll be Tuesday. And then I'm going to LFC meeting in the morning. So hopefully I still haven't found anything out about the special appropriation we asked for this year for nursing, but I'm still hopeful that we'll get something not just for 26, but this year too. So
Hopefully so. And I would encourage anybody that wants to go to Quay Day. They usually have secretaries, all of the legislators there. So.
this is definitely an opportunity for you guys as board members to go if you want.
All right, thank you. Next is college mission statement reaffirmation. It's the same. We haven't had any changes.
We just don't have the
Time.
capacity right now to even look at that,
Right.
just to be honest.
Well, until we get completely back on our feet, I can understand that, but
It still looks good.
It looks good to me.
Yeah, it's,
if it looks good to everybody, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I so move that we approve it as presented.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
Mr. Primrose,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
and Mr. Siegel,
Yes.
and motion carried.
Thank you. Next, the November 2024 financial report.
Yes, so I sent you guys the EFOP reports, and again, please don't take any of this as like business office falling down on the job. Mr. RS is doing a fantastic job. Just a short turnaround period from our last board meeting. You know, she's done a lot of trainings during that time. She's training a new employee. But the EFOP gives you a pretty good idea where we're at, and if we don't have anything in this report, we'll definitely get it in for January. But you know, still looking at our cash flow, we're holding a pretty good line. We should see a little bump as we start seeing the local taxes come in. And then, of course, we'll be ready for our spring tuition and stuff like that. So if you have any questions, I'll be sure to ask. I know, just like the last several days, they've gotten peppered with multiple questions from the special auditor, and, you know, that just pulls away from their time. But I'll answer any questions if you guys have any.
Now, the cash looks good. It's a big increase from the last week, so and it looks good to me.
And remember in that, we still have, you know, there's what, 500 and some thousand still from the insurance. Mr. Martinez will give an update on that work. But, and then we also have around 300,000 of that workforce money in there. And kind of an update on that, Ms. Enriquez got the courses built. Mr. McVeigh's team is going to be enrolling some people in those new wind workforce classes, and so some of that money we'll start to see going out. But even with that, we're still doing, I think, well.
Cash looks good. All right. So entertain a motion to approve the financial report for November.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial report for November.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Box?
Yes.
Mr. Primrose?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson? Yes. Mr. Sigma?
Yes.
And Mr. Sanders?
Yes.
The motion carried.
All right. Next on the agenda is Mr. Kaiser.
Well, hello, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. You have my report this month for academic affairs. And I just want to highlight some of these events that speak to student, staff, and faculty success. Of course, if we look at item 3A, the Honors College presentation, which happened on I'm not saying it. It happened last week, I think. Just to take a moment to acknowledge those students. So the Honors College presentation, what that is, it's a program which is headed by Dean Garcia, and he works with students and instructors, and they take on a project that is above and beyond the scope and research that's conducted in the normal coursework. The instructors that worked with these students were Instructor Greg Howard and Dr. Simone Klutzny. And we had various students, and I'll name the students off. Students explored items from literature and film to medicine. So some really amazing research that happened. They presented their posters, and they opened up a discussion for other students, faculty, and staff. And those students were Emily Mack, Genesis Rodriguez, Julia Lopez, Kirsten Gonzalez. Amazing job for those students, amazing job for our faculty that supported those students. And again, many thanks to our student success team over there, Dean Garcia, Kylie Collins, and Nikki Vasquez for helping those students with their research and presentation.
Very good.
Wonderful event. Some of you attended. I hope you enjoyed that. And also the nursing pinning ceremony. Great turnout. Great way to kind of cap not only our semester, but also those students' journey, their 2-year journey. And we were reminded today in discussing with faculty that when these students started their journey, it was kind of chaos, you know. We were on unstable ground, and with good guidance from our faculty and staff and some good leadership. I don't want to brag too much on leadership, but and then the students really come together to support each other, and that's something I really want to highlight. This semester, I've seen more instances where we have students on campus celebrating events, and even in their own perspective areas, whether it be in the farrier shop, taking charge and actually giving a farrier demo, students giving students direction in the sim lab, and that tells me that we're going in the right direction when the students are now taking charge of their learning process and being a big presence in that. So yes, I just wanted to share those events with you. I really don't have much else. Some developments today that are probably good direction. We're going to be in talks next week with West Texas WT out in Canyon. We're going to look to starting our articulation transfer for ag science. And I'm not sure yet on what aspect specific to ag science, but students would complete their 2-year journey here and then transfer that direction as well. So I have this thought that if we can open up that doorway to that 4-year, that'll bring other ag science programs into the equation as well. We also had a wonderful talk today with potential CNA instructor, so we can activate our CNA program. And as soon as that's activated, I'll let you all know. And again, more opportunities to get students in for both credit bearing and workforce training. And other than that, I just wanted to take a second to thank our faculty and staff, our executive team, the board, and our students. Thank you all for supporting our students. And I wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, all those things.
Feliz Navidad.
Very good job. I hope everybody can take a little breather, because it has been a whirlwind, I know, and faculty and students and staff did a great job for the semester. Appreciate everything.
We appreciate your support. Thank you.
I had a question on the nursing. How many started at the beginning
7,
with this
I
cohort?
think.
So,
Just, that's pretty good.
5 graduated.
and 5 graduated. And we had a success today with the TESI testing. Test scores
Yeah.
looked amazing. I can't give you specifics, but I can say they look amazing. And those are good indications when those students take the NCLEX.
We and I remember some of the numbers we had. You know, I hope this isn't. We had, you know, all 5. There's like a percentage of the likelihood of passing. All 5 were 90% or above.
Oh, wow.
And so of the likelihood that they're going to pass the first time. So they're more than prepared, we feel like, for that. So
That's great.
Any other questions?
Questions for Mr. Kaiser? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is Student Affairs, Mr. Bay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
just have a couple things to bring up. One, I want to say registration trainings went really well with the prison or the correctional facilities, and so that has helped our registration process. There's not as much back and forth, and we need this, we need that, or didn't want that, I didn't want this. So it's really streamlined everything. Very encouraging. It's helping us with our registration process to be faster and also more accurate. So we're feeling really good about that. Financial aid, you can see there's a lot of workshops coming up. So our director of financial aid and executive director are just doing phenomenal jobs there as well. And very excited for the opportunities there for the high school students to be instructed on the FAFSA and answering any questions that they might have. And I know tonight, I believe we're going to have a report on rodeo and the rodeo that we hosted here. And so felt really good about that as well. The way that went and its attendance, but I'll let the coach talk about that. I do want to just say that the event that we had today with staff and faculty was incredibly encouraging to me as well. Culture is so important in an organization, and I gotta tell you, I just feel really good about the culture that we're developing here at Mesalands Community College. And whether it's through student events or we care, being the employees and taking care of one another, I'm encouraged to see everyone laughing, smiling, and having a great time together. And I'll say that the attendance was the biggest I've seen in 5 years. As far as this exchange that we have every single year, it is the most attended. We had the highest attendance that I've seen in 5 years. And so those are just a few things that I just wanted to highlight. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer any.
I would add to, Josh and I had a kind of a impromptu interview about an hour ago with the Albuquerque Journal. We kind of thought going into it was going to be a positive piece, and it may still be, but you might be looking out for that. Some of the questions they asked, it kind of led us to think that maybe they were looking for something, something wrong with like HED or the state auditor's office or something like that. I think we answered them in a way that diverted that, but we'll see what comes of that. We just told them what we thought, but
we appreciate the
Yeah.
leadership HED's shown us and the guidance and
Yeah.
the education they've given us and helping us with re-implementing the tools that we need to be successful that we're missing
Yeah.
for so long. So we're very grateful for that.
Josh, a question I have, under your marketing bulletin here, you see assets are created and then ordered and recruiting and so on. What do you mean by assets? Kind of
Sure.
a little bit.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm thinking probably not a car and a building
yeah.
and stuff like that,
Yeah, so this is what I call lanyards and stickers and
Promotional materials.
Promotional materials. There you
Okay.
go.
There you
So
go.
I usually call recruiting items things that you can give out assets, or even like if I create an ad, that's an asset that I
Right.
use. And anyways, that's kind of how I utilize the term, but marketing materials.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That makes more sense to me.
Yeah, that's what I should probably use. Nobody's going to pay me a whole lot of money for that.
Any other questions for next week's day? If not, thanks a lot. Appreciate all the work you did.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your support again. Thank you.
Next is the fall rodeo report. Coach Seeger.
Howdy, guys. My kids raised $5,735 in sponsor money. The gate admission for our rodeo was $1,946. The bookstore made $578, and overall we made $8,259 in revenue from the rodeo. We had a bit of a rocky fall season. I've got 2 kids that have a chance of going to the CNFR. We only have to have 4 rodeos this fall because Danae had insurance problems and Naira would let them have the rodeo. So we get to have 6 rodeos in the spring. So there's plenty of opportunity for my kids to be able to still make it. So that's good. The only problem that we had at our rodeo that I got feedback from the other coaches is that the lighting on the timed event end, there was only 2 lights working and there's 4 lights down there. And we've talked to the county about that to see if we can get them repaired for next year's. I have a new practice facility out at the house there, and we're working on getting that more updated and more functional for what it is.
I want to add, if you get a chance to go out there, I know Coach Siegerman has done a lot of, maybe all the work himself, but a lot of it himself. And, you know, at some point, that's going to be a big plus to our program. You know, the kids not having to switch places at practice. And especially when we get the budget more in order, hopefully we can look at doing some more improvements to that. But he's done a lot of work on that. So
Hopefully have lighting out there. I mean, it's not a possibility.
that's one of the things we'll have to look at, lighting and water.
Lighting and water.
Yeah.
And then I'll have my prep stock on one side and then my time arenas on the other side over there. So then it's really easy to have to practice.
City has water right there, right? City.
Yep. And then there's a well that's over to like all those stock pens that I have.
Good.
Any other questions for me?
Any questions, Coach?
What does recruiting look like?
Recruiting is looking good. I'm hoping to have double my numbers from this year, which I know is little, but that's what I have started as on my sheet paper.
And do we still have maybe an additional one coming in this spring?
Yes, possibly. He said he wants to come this spring, but I haven't heard from him.
Okay.
So.
All right, so no more questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Next is Mr. Martinez, Administrative Affairs.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. First off, I'd like to relay a message that Rochelle sends her apologies not being able to attend the meeting, but I asked her to go ahead and sleep back. She's finalizing payroll, so I need to make sure that we got payroll situated. We have a few of our key staff, our person that deals with the payroll will be out the next couple of days and for the rest of the break. So they're coordinating that to make sure everybody gets paid on Thursday, and then also pre-planning for the pay period that's going to fall within the break itself. So we'll have plenty of staff, even though we're closed to the public and officially off. I know a lot of people will be putting in hours just to make sure things are done by the time we get back in January, so I'd like to thank you for that. I have a brief update on the Building E roof repair. It's something we've been going back and forth for, I think, for quite some time. So I got the full story to this finally. I got an email the other day, and I guess the contractor was waiting on actual stamped engineering plans. So they finally received those, and then at that point, they were able to submit to Construction Industries Division for their permit, which is now in the process, and we're hoping to get that by next week. Unfortunately, based on that time schedule, with holidays coming up and the scheduling for the contractor, we're not going to get started on E until at least January. Talking about at least the pre-construction meeting. Same thing with Building A. There's some additional work. I think I might have brought this up in a previous meeting. The curb adapters for the HVAC units on Building A. That was something that was not originally quoted from the contractor. So the contractor's been working with the engineer. The engineer's working with the insurance adjuster to make sure all that's eligible, updating prices, and make sure all the stuff behind the scenes fine. And then they'll get back to me. Even with Building A, I really emphasize trying to get that done prior to returning back to class. Even if staff's on site, it'll be a little bit of an inconvenience, but not as rough as if we have students on site, because pulling all those different HVAC units, it will let some cool air within the building. So we're trying to minimize that. I also told him I'm available over the break. If by some miracle they can get down here and replace that during that time, we're more than willing to accommodate and do what we have to make that work. So that's the two latest updates on the roofing itself. I also wanted to let everybody know, I was surprised, it was a surprise to me. I was in my office yesterday and one of the gentlemen from Impact said, "Oh, there's a whole bunch of water coming out of the building across the street." So my first natural reaction is, "Uh-oh, something's not right. I better go check on it." I didn't know because I was out Thursday. We had just created the PO for the fire protection company to come down and do their inspections. And thankfully, it was just them testing our system, make sure everything's working. So that was the water coming out the building. But that's going well. They're also on site today. They're checking all the alarms. So very happy to get that going. That's something been in the works probably since the first this fiscal year in July sometime. So really happy and excited with their response, considering we just got the PO last week and we were able to get on site yesterday. That's really good. I'm also wanting to thank everybody within the departments I supervise, specifically maintenance. They've been knocking some things out. Within our fitness center, I talked to them and asked them, "Hey, when you have a chance, go ahead and put a fresh coat of paint on some of the stuff. It'll spruce it up. A little paint will go a long way." And to my surprise, that was done within a day or two. So they've really been knocking things out right now. They're replacing a lot of these old fluorescent bulbs in Building A with new LED bulbs that'll help with some energy saving there. And it just kind of spruces up the place. They also did some work. I don't know if you noticed, Dr. Moss, I don't know what those are for. They have those weird little kind of cloth walls right there.
I noticed that like across from Ms. Gutierrez's office, and yeah.
So they've been working on that. They got rid of that, put some sheetrock and textured. So I'd like to thank them, IT, the Dinosaur Museum bookstore, of course the business office. Everybody's been coming together. We have things moving along. I think it stated in the last meeting, our AR specialist is now on site. She's already gone through some training. Rochelle's been going through additional training. That's only helping with the budget. And then to emphasize what Dr. Moss said, the special audit, Rochelle had some questions, I guess, over the weekend. She was working on things. So they said, "Oh, by the way, that reminds us, we need this, this, and this." We have it there by the end of the day today. So she's also working on that as well as payroll. But things are going well. I think we're closing the year in a strong way. We've come a long ways and we're only going to get better. Now we'll start looking to additional policies and procedures and making things more efficient, making sure that we avoid those reoccurring audit findings and just making things a bit better. The last thing I have tonight is for the fitness center. It's another, I guess, move in the right direction, improving things and getting with today's technology. I know some of the feedback we received from some of our customers, the fitness center's members, was sometimes we only have maybe one cashier on staff and the others are busier out of the office. They can't pay their gym membership fee. Well, we're going to treat the fitness center what it's like, and it's more of an auxiliary service similar to the Dinosaur Museum, similar to the bookstore, and it is paying for a service. It's not necessarily always for a credit class. When it is a for-credit class, and that'll be held to a different standard and ran the way it typically was, ran through registration, go through the process, and we get credit for that. This, if it's strictly just a gym membership, it's a service to the community, they'll be able to pay through Square, a POS system similar to what we do for the bookstore and Dinosaur Museum. So we're going to get to the point where it's going to be available online. So for example, if it's a weekend or if it's after hours or it's just at the convenience of the customer, they could go on and renew that. We'll have a process in place where our staff will go through and make sure that their card's updated so they have access to the gym membership. We'll be running additional promotions instead of maybe just the holiday promotion from January through May and get June free, or July through November and get December free. We may just go with the buy 5 in advance, you get the 6 free, pay for a whole year, you'll get two months knocked off for free. So that's something new. It's something that people have been requesting for quite some time. And I'm just excited. It just shows change is good. It's providing better customer service for our community and making things maybe a little bit easier on staff where they're not always having to interact with that customer. The customer can go out and enroll automatically and actually do a subscription similar to what you do with these different streaming apps for TV. They could enroll and they could just subscribe monthly and it'll automatically bill them and they'll pay if that's what they want to do. So just new things, trying to try different things and increase attendance and enrollments into our fitness center. And with that, I think it's warranted because we're just recently purchased, we haven't paid for it yet, it's in the ordering process, some new equipment for the fitness center, rearranging some things, and, things are going great, so I'm happy to finish the year on a strong note, and, send for any questions at this time.
I want to add, I don't think I put this in my report. Our new AR person is Devane Martinez. She started, and we're excited about getting another person in there and helping keep that moving forward. So I should have sent out an invite to her to come to the meeting, but I forgot. So.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Martinez?
Another one. How much longer will it take you to fix all the buildings?
As far in what regard, which buildings and
Oh,
all of them? So, right now, I'm starting with the insurance claims. Once that goes through, the most critical is the roof. Once the roof is repaired, there's some additional insurance claim work that will take place. So, for example, in Building E, once the roof's done, we'll do some stucco work on the west side of the building, repair some of the gutter on the exterior, and then they have to go back and replace the interior that was damaged from the water. Right now, I'm not sure if you've been there in a while, but there's actually plastic covering it, and just it's there temporary until we could get through to put sheetrock or the vinyl siding, whatever was in that bay area. So that will come after the roof's done. Same thing in Building A, the roof will get done, and then we'll work on the courtyard, some stucco work. We're holding off on the restrooms in Building A until we hopefully get the capital outlay funds that we were recommended by HED. Once that happens, that'll go up to the legislative session in January, and if all goes well, that'll get approved, and those funds would probably be available the next fiscal year, somewhere between July and September. Then we'll start planning, go out for bid or quotes, and get that work done. And then part of our infrastructure capital improvement plan is work on the existing buildings, all the other buildings as it comes through. The Armory is unique, where we're not really holding any kind of classes other than a community education class right now. So it's not eligible for capital outlay funds. That has to be internal funds that we gain. So my plan is now with the budget and being able to track all those different revenues, the revenue we receive from the lease agreements with those that lease space at the old Armory, that money will go into a special revenue fund that will go back into a building improvement fund or something for infrastructure for that specifically. Same thing for the Dinosaur Museum. And I talked to Chester today about the Dinosaur Museum. We've had some different issues with leaking, and that fits into the same category. So when we went to present last year, Dr. Moss and I, to the Capital Outlay Committee, they stated, well, only a portion of that building is used for instruction. So that's what's eligible for the capital outlay funds. We're not able to use capital outlay funds to repair the entire building, just a fraction. So as a college, we're responsible to cover the rest of the cost. So what we're trying to do is get to a point where we're self-sufficient, we're making enough revenue, where we start building up those reserves. That way we could use some of our own local funds as a match to improve those buildings.
So you may have talked about this already, but right now we're looking at the roofs. That work starting now, it's probably going to be 1st of January or so. So hopefully the roofing projects will be done between January and March, maybe April. Get all those done and then start those lower projects once the roofs are done. And we've already replaced 2 or 3 major HVAC units on campus.
We replaced some HVAC units. With the insurance claim, they've replaced the skylights throughout buildings A, D, and E. What else have they done? They've replaced some lighting that was damaged. They replaced them with LED lights, the exterior lights on building A, some at the old Armory. I don't believe they did it on building C. So it's been ongoing, but the next step that's holding everything back is the roof.
the roofs.
And
But the dinosaur roof is the worst one of all, isn't it?
I don't know if it's the worst, but it's pretty bad. So I might not have finished on that. I was getting to it when I talked to Chester. They're going to go and try to see if they could do a short-term repair. They're going to remedy some things with maybe some drainage, fixing some things to help get that water away from the building. It's in a unique location as well, where it's up. The building's next to a cinder block wall, so it's hard to properly get that rainwater to drain. I don't think they have a gutter system, so that's the stuff we'll do, is try to mitigate that and get that away until we can afford to replace the entire roof ourselves.
Because we've been having problems with the roof there for years that I know of. Using those
Been on
like
a
can
long
opener,
time.
just,
It's bad, and I think some of that's ran down from not only the roof issue, but since it's running a certain way, it's kind of damaging the stuck with the exterior walls as well. So we're gonna do what we can internally within our means to fix that as best as we can until we could get the funds, whether it's through grants, through some kind of state funding, whether it's local funds, where we could get to the point where we could completely replace that at some point.
okay, 'cause that's the worst building that I know of that we have
Yes, sir.
is that one. Okay,
Any other questions for Mr. Martinez? No? Thanks for all
Thank
you do.
Thank
Appreciate
y'all.
it.
Have a good week.
And so the governing senates, they didn't have time to meet, so.
They didn't have anything to report.
No report. Are there any comments from the trustees?
I really enjoyed the nurses pinning ceremony. It was good to see everyone there, and it was a good ceremony.
Really well participated in. The students must have been excellent.
I think they were relieved, but also they know that the NCLEX is still out there that they gotta pass, so.
Yeah.
It was good to see how emotional some of the staff or the faculty were. You know, they were really proud of those students.
Any other comments? Not, I'll entertain a motion to go into an executive session.
I so move.
Got a motion and a second, roll call please.
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Primrose?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
And Mr. Sanders?
yes.
Thank you. motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Primrose?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval?
Yes.
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
And motion carried.
We have no correspondence. The holiday break for the college will be closed from September 16th to
December.
December 16th till January 2nd. I'm in the wrong month.
Planning ahead.
And our next meeting will be January 21st, 2025. I looked at ACCT this week, but I didn't find anything that I wanted to bring, so I have no training. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Whatever.
We have 4 motions and 4 seconds.
4 motions.
Roll call, please.
Do we need a vote?
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval?
Yes.
And Mr. Fox?
Yes.
And Mr. Primrose?
Yes.